Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. In my case, it's good morning, and I'm straight into the Coca-Cola, but it's okay. There's no sugar in it, so I can drink as much as I like when I like. I've already had 2 cups of coffee. It's 6 a.m. here in Sydney, and it's a really nice day. Really nice day. All right, so welcome. Let me just quickly check who I've got hiding in chat here. We've got a few people coming in now. There was 2 just a minute ago, and now we're up to 9 or so. Jeff gets the gold medal for being first in the chat. And good to see you, mate, as usual. I might just quickly say to Jeff, thank you very much for sending those Yamato videos to watch. That Japanese movie was fantastic. I can't think of the name of it, but apparently it was the equivalent of the Titanic that came out in America. It had that same response in Japan. The opening scene on that with the attack on Yamato looks incredible. Which reminds me, when I build it, I need to put up some more sandbags than what the model supplies. But anyway, and the documentary on it was quite good too. So yeah, really enjoyed that. We also have Paul, Mr. Paul Price, my neighbour, a couple of suburbs down the road. How are you, buddy? Good morning to you. Just scrolling down, quickly having a look. We have Randy. Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome. Dan Usher's in. He's defrosted, not so cold now. Good. We've got some nice weather today. It looks like it's going to be in the high 20s degrees Celsius. So should be okay. It's actually been some quite warm days, getting up to 30 degrees a couple of days ago. It's crazy the weather here. Like literally 3 weeks ago, I was driving through snow, and now we're into the thick of summer coming on now. Rob, g'day, Rob. Welcome into chat there. Anyone? Erwin, hello from the Netherlands. Good evening. Good evening to you. Welcome on to our chat. Thanks for saying hello into chat. John Alex there, how are you, buddy? Good to see you there. Everybody saying hello to everybody. That's good. Aren't we all nice? That's it. The Great Wall of Archimedes. The Great War of Archimedes. That's the one. Thanks, Jeff. It's great. I had problems finding the movie. I could find it in Japanese, but I couldn't get one with English subtitles. And he managed to put a couple of files up I could download, and I watched it. So, yeah, definitely good. Actually, I haven't finished watching it. I've got there were 3 files you sent. It's the 3rd last file I've still got to watch. But yeah, really, really good. Jeff saying it's 11 degrees Celsius there right now. Oh gosh, you can have that. Just don't go outside. Yeah, it can be. That sounds a bit cold. Oh, what have we got here? The sun is up here. I'm doing this live stream an hour later this morning because I noticed quite a few people came in later. Plus, I get an extra hour sleep in, which I didn't really. If I told you what time I was really up, you'd freak. So I'm not even going to say that. Let's just say I'll be definitely having a bit of a nap this afternoon. Yeah, at around about 3 o'clock this afternoon. That'll be 12 hours up at that point. But hey, I'm just stupid. -4, Dan. Balmy 2 degrees. Balmy? Gosh. What would we call balmy? A balmy in temperature. I don't even know what that means. I've heard the expression, but that would be more about, 25, 26 degrees. I don't know. Probably something to do with humidity as well. So, all good. Let me just checking the stream. Can everybody let me know? Does my video look quite clear? Am I not lagging in my talk? Is everything up to date? 3:05. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, mate. No, the phone will be off. Don't you worry. The phone will be off, Paul. Anyway, so yeah, it looks all right to me watching the replay. Although there is like a good 15-second delay, but that's just normal. Audio's lagging. Yeah, that always happens. I don't know why. Maybe I should speak slower. I don't know. I don't know why that happens. It's just our internet. Australian internet is just shocking compared to most of the other places. You are dubbed like Kung Fu movie. Oh, good. Okay, so we can do a bit of Kung Fu fighting and very good. Bit of Bruce Lee action with the. That's good. I can't speak another language, so that wouldn't work. Not Japanese anyway. So, actually, if I shut down watching the stream, maybe that's taking up some of the bandwidth. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's the swearing delay. That's it. That's it. It must be. Yeah, I can see myself. I can stop myself swearing after I've sworn. Anyway, all right. So, as you may know by the title, I have a special announcement build, which most of you probably already know is happening, and that is that I've started the Yamato. So I'm working on part 1 of many parts. I have no idea how long this will take to build, but trust me, it's not going to be slow. Yeah. So it's not going to be quick. Sorry, it's going to be a very fast, very detailed build. I'm going to take my time with it. So, what can I say about the Yamato? First of all, I rearranged my dining table work desk over there to create a bit more room, which doesn't look like I've done much to create more room, because the empty space I created just suddenly, for some reason, fills up with stuff again. Now I've got sprues, point the right way, sprues lying out, instruction book, stuff where I tried to make space. Anyway, so I've worked out a few things I'm going to do to make my life easier. The instruction manual, I'm photographing each page and each step, and then reading it off Axis 6, I think it is, of a little tab. Probably can see it maybe there. So what I do is I pop that up, open that up on screen, zoom in, and I can go through look at the instructions through that, rather than damage the book. I know I keep pointing the wrong way because this is camera's reversed. It's like looking in a mirror. So there's the instruction book in a plastic cover, and I rarely have to open that. In fact, that shouldn't even be on the desk. I should move that. And that way I can go through and follow the instructions that way. So I have done some work. Like I say, the videos, I don't know exactly when. I'll be putting up a bit of an announcement thing of the new build starting on the weekend. Small round dining table. Yeah, I know. Look, I eat at the table by the TV, so in fact I eat in front of the computer. So yeah, it hasn't been a dining table since I moved in here. So one thing I will say, yes, so I have started on it. Don't know, it'll be coming out First video will come out next week. I'll schedule that on the weekend. But I'm still working right now. So what I want to just mention is this is a must-have, okay, because the instructions you get from Trumpeter, which is the ones who built the Yamato 1/200 scale, is very basic, as they always are. You really need to have this. You know, I've already come across some parts on the instructions that I didn't know what they were until I looked into this. So what I'm doing in step one is actually the boats and the barges on the ship. And we've got Richard Thomas. How are you, mate? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Rally Car Miniatures, how are you, buddy? Welcome. Nobody else I've missed? Got Randy, yeah, I've seen you there. And Nigel, hey Nigel, welcome, mate. I just saw your video go up a short time ago. I'll be watching that later. And I must say that your video on working on seams that you did, fantastic. I don't care if you're a beginner or you've been doing it for 50 years. You can always learn something from that. And to be honest with you, that's one of the hardest things I find I have to tackle with in modeling is using different types of putties and filling seams and that really scares me. I just have that fear of sanding it and realizing, hang on, I'm sanding the plastic that I don't want to be sanding, and then you end up with dips or whatever around the area that you're actually trying to fill, but you've sorted it all out. Anybody out there, I know you're all subscribed to Nigel anyway, but go over there and watch that video. It's an eye-opener for me anyway, definitely. All right, how are we going? We're looking down through chat. So yeah, back to what I was saying, and welcome Nigel. Yeah, so yes, like I say, have that. Definitely have that for the Yamato. And I'm working on step one is the boats. Now, I did a review on the box opening and all that for this, and Nigel has as well. And there was something about this that really stood out, and that is the fact that nowhere on the instructions does it tell you where these boats go. Nowhere. And not only that, but there's about 12 boats, maybe more, about 12 that need to be built. Where do they all go? Yeah, so I'm building them anyway. Even if I don't put them on the ship, I'll display them beside the ship, or I'll do something, because as you'll see shortly, I'm really happy with the way they're coming up. So step one on the first in the instructions is to build this ceremonial barge, and it's the 17-meter ceremonial barge, and that's it there. So if you can see, I try not to get the glare, but that's the detail you get by having this book, and you really need to have it, all right? And it looks really nice. Now, when I built these and I've put them together, I've painted, I've finished, there's 2 of those boats you have to build. I'll just get one out carefully because I want to be very careful with these. All right, there we go. So there's one completed. So, and that's with the photo etch railing that comes with it. There you go. I've used some panel line to black out the windows and then touched them with a bit of MIG ammo glue to give them that window glass effect. The same with the portholes. I've drilled them out. And the little holes in the top, on the top of the deck there, I've drilled them out and also given them a glass effect. There's our deck. Try and get that right. There we go. So there's actually 2 of these built. There's the second one. Looking really nice. I'm really happy with them. Sorry, I keep moving off camera. I hope you can see how clear they look. I do have a bit of a problem well, not a problem. See that little life buoy on the top? So that's a life buoy on there that's red and white. But it's so tiny on the top roof of that there that I need to paint that. And I'm afraid it's so small, I'm going to have to mask around it and then do my best to paint that with the tiniest paintbrush I can find. Yeah. Anyway, I'm brave. I'll give it a go. So, yeah, they come up quite good. So they've also got the stands on them for them, which I will paint on the sprue because where the tabs connect onto the sprue are on the base of the stand. So when I cut them off, it's not going to matter. It's going to be not seen. But because of the fact that I don't know where the boats go, the instructions actually tell you to attach these to the hull of these little boats. Not very accurate on position of where. So I'm just going to leave them till the very end because I don't even know where those boats are going, and even if they'll go on those stands or what the situation is. So anyway, there's a good photo Facebook site that good for information. They specifically have all the information about Yamato. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. It's only because of my Aussie accent. All right, that's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. Anthony Jones, morning to you. Welcome. Anybody else jumped in I didn't see while I'm blabbering on? No? Good. No, we've got 20 in there now. Good. Thanks, guys. Excellent. Have so many in there. Yes, thanks, Nigel. Yeah, I think they look really good. In fact, I'm really happy with them, and that's the important thing. They come out better than I thought. And there's quite a few more to build too. Now, I don't have the upgrade detail set by Pontos for this. I'm not building it with that. It was just a bit beyond my reach for the price. I wasn't prepared to pay pretty much what I paid for the ship, just photo etch. But with this thing coming with 15 sheets of photo etch anyway, hey, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Okay, yes, you should hang a boat off the overhead gantry crane at the stern. Yes, thanks, Nigel. Yeah, I have seen that one, and it does look good there, so I will definitely do that. But there's like another 10 boats. Yeah, that's all good. No, Randy, those little boats, they come up a lot of work into them. Like I so much work in those. It doesn't look like it. It took me a whole 2 days to build those, and I mean like full time working on them, getting them painted up, sanded, getting them to fit properly, getting that copper color I did for the funnel as well as the propeller. Or screw, I don't know, propeller or screw, not sure. Jeff asking, did I get my magnifiers fixed? Not the way you have suggested I do it, by melting the plastic with a soldering iron. I'm a little bit afraid of doing that, but I might. I'll show you quickly. So, unfortunately, these are my go-to for these. I love these. They come with a full set of about 6 different magnifying glasses that just clip in and out like this. Okay, I find them really good, comfortable. You can have them like this, or they come with a headband elastic that holds them tighter, but I find that's too tight. Now, the problem with these is that you'll see here, they cracked. Sorry. Up here, they cracked. So what I did was, on the inside, I stuck some CA glue in there. Didn't work. Then I filled it with sprue glue, some of the stuff I've made up. That didn't work. Then I've got to cut a couple of pieces of sprues and use them as braces on the back there and glued them on. They've worked. Okay, but it's a temporary fix. Now, Jeff suggested melting the plastic where the split is, and it'll sort of weld together. I might do that, but the problem is that it's all filled with with the sprue goo in there now, and I won't be able to do that, I don't think. Anyway, these don't cost too much. Looking at about $50. They're the more expensive ones. These are the ones that come with a USB that connects in there and charges the light on the front there. You can see that. There it is. It's a bit, yeah. Now that saves weight in the front. Otherwise, you've got to put batteries in there. The weight puts pressure on these parts that sit on your nose, and they tend to feel a bit heavy. But these ones are fine. They're a lot lighter. But even so, I've noticed that these they come with spare rubber bits that go over the metal that sits like. Don't laugh. I know I'm going to look funny with big eyes, but there we go. It sits on your nose like that, which is fine. It works fine. But when it's hot and summer, and you're looking down, these tend to slide down your nose, and it's a pain in the ass forever while you're working, pushing them back up, and it gets to the point where these things are slipping now quite a lot. So they're from a company called Vision. I'll just grab the box. Here we go. So Vision Aid magnifier. Probably just see that. So. But they come, you'll see I've got another set in here, but look, they broke in exactly the same place where this is broken. See? So there's a weak point there. I actually emailed the company and I said that this is the second time these are broken in the same spot. Have you fixed this problem? I never got a response back. So, yeah, unfortunately. They actually, when I first bought them, they accidentally sent me out two sets of these, which was really good. So I've been using this for spare parts where I can. There's the spare nose pads, which, because I've got them, I might actually use them. I might put them on there and see if that helps stopping them slide. I've got spare lenses in here. I've got the whole set. So I'm going to have to buy a third one, I think. There's the USB. You plug them in. It takes like an hour and they're fully charged again, and you won't have to do it again for another 2 weeks. But, yeah, see, broke exactly the same spot. It's a shame. But I know there are other brands. There are cheaper versions of this same thing on eBay that you can get. But I don't think they're going to be better. I'd rather go to the actual company and buy them again, which, I mean, they lasted well, like almost the whole time of my modelling life, nearly 2 years. So they're worth it, I think, if I get 12 months out of it, that's pretty good. It's a lot to do with the way I handle them too, taking them on and off too. I just need to be a bit more careful, and maybe if I do get a new set, I'll just tape them up in those spots just to secure them. Knowing that they're probably going to break there again, but maybe it'll take longer before it happens. Voice is lagging again. Okay, I will slow down, maybe, let it catch up. Yeah, so that's the Yamato beginning. Now, what do we got here? Peter, drill a hole at the end of each piece of sprue you have there. Then put 2 cable ties through in an X shape. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think that would help, but because it's not just a matter of holding it on there, it can't bend out, right? Because if it bends out just by a millimeter, it means that this isn't sitting tightly on my face, and it slides down my nose because these aren't held tight. Part of these against the side of my head, the firmness there, helps keep them up and stop them sliding down. See? And when that broke, that's what started it. I thought, hang on, why am I pushing my glasses back up all the time? And then I realized it's because it's cracked and these were bending out a bit. So yeah, there's a few things I could do. You know, I could put something on there. I could glue something on there to make it thicker, so it's going to sit against me a little bit tighter. Anyway, it's all good. That's the worst of my problems, so I've got nothing to worry about. It's all good. What'd you do in Iraq, Randy? What's this one? When our glasses would slide down, used foam rubber earplugs by the temples. Should stop them from sliding. That's good. That's good. Except I'm taking them on and off all the time. You know. But yeah, there's ways around. But then a new pair, I wouldn't have to think about any of that, would I? It'll be fine for another 12 months before it breaks again. Paul, yes, yours did the same. Okay, yep. Would use cigarette, but Randy says some would use cigarette butts also. Good idea. I'll take up smoking and stick my cigarette butts in there. All right. Have to do with Iraq. Yeah, they're similar. He's talking about maybe his sunglasses, yeah, or night vision glasses or whatever they might have been using. Your head is too wide. Well, that's probably right. Yes, that's right. All good until that's the worst fear is you might be working on something really delicate and the things slide off and land on there. Ugh. Yeah. How about fixing the whole unit to the peak of a baseball cap? Yeah, you come up with some really good ideas, Nigel. That could work too, except I don't wear hats. I can't wear baseball caps. I just don't find them comfortable. That would be an idea though. Yes, that would work. I ride a motorbike. Maybe I could rig them up to my motorbike helmet and sit there doing my model in a motorbike helmet. At least I'd be safe at the same time. Yeah, it's like baseball caps and sunglasses I've never worn in my whole life. I just don't like things like on me. But that's a good idea. All right. So moving on, Yamato. One more thing I want to mention is I'm going to be spraying large areas. Like you know that the hull of the Yamato is literally nearly 1.5 meters long. It's 1.3 centimeters or 1,300 millimeters. So my airbrush I use now is fine, but it only has a 1.303 mil needle in it, and I can't get a very wide spray out of it. So what I have a cheaper airbrush, a Mod FX one here, which I used to use before my new one. This is my new one. Well, that's the box for it. It's Mr. Hobby's Procon Boy Platinum 0.3 version 2, whatever. Good brush. I love it. Fantastic. I'll be using that all the time. But it's a 0.3. You can't put a bigger needle in it. Whereas my old airbrush comes with different size needles. So yesterday, I went down to my local supplier and bought a 0.5. There it is, 0.5 mil needle set for that brush, just to get a bigger spray for doing the hull. The other option would be use a rattle can, but no, I want a better job than I can do with a rattle can. Plus, I don't want to use just your basic hull red. I find the hull red is more like hull brown. As you'll see over here, those are actual hull red colours, but I added red to them and brightened them up. That one, the Queen Mary up there has, I think that wasn't hull red. I think that was a different colour, but that one was a hull red with a mixture I made in it to brighten it up. I want somewhere between the two for the Yamato. I don't want it looking the brown colour straight that you would get, so that's why I'm going to need to use an airbrush to spray my mix. That will help because, and I'll just give you an idea how big, I'll be back in a sec, the hull is. All right, so this is our Yamato hull. You can see it is long, very long. All right, there it is there. So yeah, to do that, I need a nice, decent spray size to cover that properly. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to doing the boot line as well. That'll be interesting. It is huge. Yeah, look how long that is and wide. I mean, that's it on the ground. Yeah. So it comes up to here on me, and I'm 6'1". So yeah, that's why you probably know that I had my TV raised up and mounted on the wall, so that now the TV cabinet will be the location where this little fella's going to sit. I'm just going to put that back. Yeah, so quite a bit of difference from spraying the holes on these little fellas to that. Yeah, so all excited about that. So that build, as I mentioned, I've started it. First video will come out next week. I could kayak in that, John. That's right, I could. And I thought about trying that when we had that terrible rain here in Sydney a couple of months ago. I could have jumped in that and gone down the street and headed to work. And Randy is using a HVLP gun. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Yes, that thing is huge. Yes, it is. Needs to go out. No worries. Yeah, he's got two of them. Yeah, you see, you can put 1 foot in each one and float down the road. Or use them as skis if it's cold and you get snow, or a toboggan. Anyway, it's big, yeah. I think it's longer than the Titanic. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, I think it is a little bit more than the Titanic in length. It's massive. But definitely need more sandbags to go up around the gun turrets and so forth up on the deck and that. After watching that movie, I figured that, yeah, it would look fantastic to have sandbags set up around the turrets and the little gun placement. I need to learn my ship lingo severely. Otherwise, I'm going to get hammered on these videos every time I name something wrong. Gets port and starboard wrong and whatever else. So, yeah, I'm going to have to learn some stuff. Needs a paint roller that you use on your ceiling. That's I actually have some small paint rollers that I used when I was varnishing my wood bases. No, that's not going to happen. No, sorry. A bath of grey paint to dip it. Yeah, now that's right, Nigel. That's a good idea. You know, I was watching Ron the other day. He's got his airbrush up and running finally. Thank God, he's got it working. And I noticed, or one thing I noticed about it was, he's right-handed, but he sprays with his left hand. So I checked. I mentioned in chat. I said because he just ordered another airbrush, which he just got the other day. I said you need to order a left-handed airbrush. Maybe that's his problem, because if you're using a right-handed airbrush in your left hand, you're putting strain on the parts from the angle that you're holding it, which is differently. So maybe that's his problem. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't know why I started talking about that. So he's got his working. That's really good. And I completely lost my train of thought there and forgot what I was saying. Maybe it was something in comments. Oh, the rollers. Yeah. My God. I'll be able to spray it. It'll be fine. I did my Arizona here with the airbrush, although, again, even though that's big, it's still half the size of that. But you do need to get a nice, thick, large amount of paint coming out and get that coverage right. There's left-handed airbrush. Well, I don't know. Excuse me, I have my Coke. All right. Another thing is too that my paint's being supplied by Jason at Outlaw Paints. It's the XF75, which I've written down here because I need to buy a little bit more just as backup, just to have some. But yeah, so Jason Outlaw Paints is going to be doing up a special mix of my XF75 in his paint, so that will be the base color for the ship. And thanks, Erwin. Thanks for joining, and have a good one. He's got to go. Yeah, so that'll be my paint, and we're working on the hull color as well. We might be able to get a special mix on the hull to get that colored up properly. Other than that, that's the only two colors you need for this ship. Oh, and the deck tan, but that's only for the boats. I've got a wooden deck for this, ordered through 3D Wild, which is through, I can't pronounce the brand of that deck. You'll have to wait till the video comes out. I mentioned it in there. It's got the adhesive on the back and it's fine. It's going to look really well. But what I want to do too is I want to put some sort of a slight stain on that deck as well. I'm guessing that the Yamato was a very well looked after ship. I'm guessing that it would be in very, very good condition most of the time. So everything would be quite clean. Your hull would be looking pretty good. Your deck's going to be nice. I know that they covered it in soot to make it darker at night on one of the trips it did, but I don't want to do that. But I don't also want to have the deck looking like it has never had a boot step on it as well. And that's one little regret I have when I did my Arizona, was from the side, looking at it, I'm looking at it up here now, it looks fantastic. I've got all the weathering done, looks really nice. But when you come over the top and you look down on the deck and it's a spotless wooden deck on there, it just doesn't look right. And so I want to get some sort of a very slight stain across that deck. And there's some products I can use. There's some weathering powders by Tamiya that you can really do very light covers across that just give it that worn look, like people have been walking across it. What, there's like 5,000 crew, So yeah, I'll show you what I mean by the deck looking too good. All right, so I just got to be a bit careful here, but I'll show you. So that is all that with the hull weathered. Looks really good, right? But then we go down, we look at the deck, and there's my nice deck. It just looks too brand new. It needs to be dirtier. Just needs to be dirtier. Now I could weather that now, being very careful with all the railings and all the bits and pieces on there. But it needs to be done at the right time during your build. So Yamato, I'm going to take my time and make sure it's, properly done right across the whole thing, start to finish. Now, what else was I going to mention? Oh, the turrets. So my video went out yesterday for the Fujimi 1/200 scale turrets kit. That kit come with 3. I'm only building 1 for the video. No point doing it 3 times in the video. That's the second video on that will come out on Saturday or Sunday. That's tomorrow for me. That's in 2 days for some of you guys. That'll be, and the second video is the last one. It goes for a bit longer. It goes for about 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it's the full finished build to the end. I meant to bring it out in 3 videos, but I just kept recording and didn't realize. And then I thought, oh Jesus, this has gone too long. But oh well, it's okay. I'll do it take it in 2 shots. So that turret came out really well. I'll give you a sneak if I can point the right way. You just see it sitting in there. There it is there. There's a sneak preview of it finished. But if you watch my video on the weekend when it comes out, you'll see that. And the plan was to have that displayed beside the Yamato. I originally wanted to install it and replace one of the turrets on the Yamato, which you can do that. I've been told with a little bit of adjustment you can get it to fit in there. But what's the point if it's going to be sitting in there when you can't see all the detail in the clear part that shows all the interior? So the best way to do it, I thought, was to display it separately on its own little stand under the same case beside the ship. So then people can look at it, or I can look at it. I don't know. Nobody else comes here, so nobody else sees what I do. But at least it'll be on display, and there's the turret, and you can see all the workings of it on the interior and know that that's what those massive turrets, the weight of a frigate on their own, looks like. Yes, there are some accuracy issues. People talk about accuracy. I mean, you got to draw a line, and base it on your own experience and what your own outcome is that you're aiming for. So I know there's a couple of people I've seen, particularly on that Facebook page, that, I mean, their knowledge is incredible, and the detail, even the guy who wrote the book, The Anatomy, and put all that stuff together is just, thank you so much. But there's a lot of detail in there that is not only beyond my abilities, but I just don't have the interest to even learn for that to be of my ability. I'm not going to go sanding down hulls and making adjustments on turrets and all the rest of it. I want my model to look really nice for a person who, I've never been on a ship in my life, well, not a warship, and don't know much about them at all, but the appearance and the look of them is fantastic. So I want that appearance and that look to me to be fantastic. And not only that, but my videos overall are just out there to show that anybody of whatever experience can tackle something like this. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. And sure, you learn a lot watching other people's videos. That's fantastic. That's what gets you into it. That's what makes you go, oh, I'd love to build that. How they do that. So that's why I didn't go with the detail set as well, and I'll get it coming up as I want it to make it look really good. As Nigel's saying, a lot of the accurate info is perhaps sketchy. Yeah, well, it's one of those ships where there's not much information. I mean, it's at the bottom of the ocean, isn't it? A lot of the stuff was destroyed. So I think it's really, you just want a nice looking model, nice looking model. I think it is a really good ship. I think it's the first trumpeter model in 1/200 scale ever brought out with that much photo etch included. It's good to see them going down that track with the photo etch, just for that extra detail. I mean, no model ship, in my opinion, should be built without railings. I think every kit should at least have basically have the railings in there. I mean, you're looking at a ship and you're thinking, and you're picturing it with all the sailors on there, and they're all going to fall off if there's no railings around the side. So, I think the Arizona was like that actually. The kit didn't come with the railings; you had to buy them and fit them. So, I think it came with railings on certain sections of it, but not the actual railings around the deck itself. Strange that. But that's just model ships, Now we're moving on to other things. And talking about other things, was mentioning the turrets. That'll be finished. And then before that, I have my M40 gun. That went really well. And you've seen the diorama. I'll give you another quick look. So that's that all finished. My first diorama ever. There's all our fellows in there. Came up really well. Got all my snow and stuff on there. A little bit on the tank. Got all the mud on the wheels. Really happy with this. Really happy. I mean, I could have dirtied them up a bit more. It's pretty hard to tell. You can see better in the video, but they come up really nice. It's all subjective, isn't it? How far you go with the weathering. Who's to say that truck, that gun was, just came off the ship a few days earlier. It's hardly seen any action, so it's looking a little bit cleaner. But anyway, but again, I'm happy. That's it. Doesn't matter. What else was I going to mention? There was something. Oh, there's a group build. So me and the other two amigos from Aussie Scale Modelers are doing a group build of the Australian 1/35th scale ASLAF. So that's that's going to be interesting. So I've actually ordered it, and I'm just looking at it on my screen now. I need to learn how to transfer my screen across, but it's going to be an interesting build. So I've ordered that. That should come today. Actually, I'm expecting to get a notification to pick that up in the mail today. Jason from Outlaw Paints will be supplying the paints for that. There's a set that he's doing, an Australian military set, so that'll be good. Nigel, yes, I have your rudder It's there. Yep, it's definitely going to be using your rudder. Thank you for that. That's going to go on not the Aslav, on the Yamato. um, although those armoured personnel carriers, weren't they called land ships at one point? Anyway, yeah, so yes, I will be using that. Ralph's just joined in. Hello, mate. You're late, but that's okay. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Excellent. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be building that. I think it'll be after Christmas. I think we're going to start on that. I also have some products from Icky Sticky, which you've all heard about. So Icky Sticky's, well, I've got these nice little notepads. Everything's great, even my drink holders from Icky Sticky. I needed some more blades for my knife, so I'm buying about 20 or 30 of those. And I think Monique's also given me some new product to try out too that they're going to start selling. Give you a little heads up there. It's glass files. Yeah, tapered glass files, which I'm using at the moment. One from Razor is the brand. They use them on Gundam. Fantastic stuff. In fact, I've hardly picked up a normal sanding stick since I've got one. They do a beautiful finish. Yeah. The only thing that's not a problem really is that they do such a fine job sanding. It's like powder. The plastic dust, not sawdust, sand dust. Yeah, plastic dust. It's like a powder. Gets everywhere. So you need to, if you're doing a lot of sanding on something, you need to give it a bit of a wipe and proper clean. But the Infinity ones are awesome. Yes, they are too. They're really, really good. Same thing. I'll grab my razor file. It is. So, yeah, so that's what I'll be using. Take that off. So there's my little razor. Hold it up the right way. There it is. That's a nano file. Fantastic. You just wipe it on a, well, if you're Nigel, you use a pair of jeans that you're not wearing or a paper towel, run it under water, and it's good to go like new. You'll never replace them. They'll last forever. Unlike sanding sticks, yeah, last forever. Just don't drop them, okay? I'm okay here. I'm on carpet. Not a problem. But, yeah, they're tapered glass. They do shatter. But, yeah, just the finish you get on that is just a few wipes to take off the nubs. Beautiful. And there's not a no sign that there was anything there. You know, it just takes it off beautifully. And I think they're designed for the Gundam stuff that a lot of those parts are already painted. So they want the finish. They're not. It's not like we paint over everything that we're sanding, but they don't. It's already painted. So they want that finish there to look like the original surface, and they polish to that point. Really, really good. Amphibious, Pete. Yes, amphibious. That's the word. Yeah. Ralph Boy's got your razor and haven't tried it. Oh, good. That's good. There's Bildrat. How are you, buddy? Good morning to you. Just popped in. Very good. Yeah. So that's that. Files. That I didn't even make a list of what I was going to talk about. It's funny. You start the stream thinking, what am I going to talk about? And then you realize you haven't shut up for, hell, it's nearly an hour already. Jesus. Anyway, what else? Oh, I've got to ask Nigel, did you happen to get a box delivered to you some time ago with some Aussie beer in it? Certain guy by the name of Hibbo sent to you? Just wondering. Have you drunk it? Anyway. Yeah, so that's about all I think I have to write up about. Just checking and catching everyone. Michael Naven, hello everybody. Hey, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So yes, Nigel's just put out the next Spitfire video, which I've never built a plane in my life, and but I still got to watch your videos, because whatever you're building, there's something in there you can take from that. That's for sure. Still unopened. Okay, mate. All good. What else we got? I just need to catch up on the chat. Looking all right. It's fine. Now, one more thing I was going to mention, and I'll put it down the bottom. Just bring this up. There we go. There is my Facebook. So if anybody wants to catch up with me on Facebook, check it out. You can go through, check out who I am. You can see my history. You might get a little insight on some things that I do before they're released on video. I usually post up a few pictures there. I definitely post up a few pictures before I put out mine on video. But yeah, I know a lot of you already have me on Facebook, but there it is there. You can check on my adventures and trips pre-COVID years. I used to go overseas every year, spend a lot of time African countries and throughout Southeast Asia and other areas. So it's quite a bit of stuff there. Here we go. What is he? John, in Holroyd, you are a local, says John. Hello, John. Yeah, my family history is from the UK, and as far as I know, there's a Holroyd house. Is it called? It may be pronounced different. The spelling changed over years from a Howroyd, and it went on. Then French started with a D in the beginning, de Howroyd. But I think one of the Queen's residents was a Holroyd house. And I think there was I may have some connection with a duke over there, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I actually went over to the UK, well, it's many years ago now, on one of my travels, and spent a couple of months backpacking. And I went to Kew Gardens and to the what do you call it, where you get your history, family history and stuff. And I found the actual writing in the log of the ship from the first fleet of my relative coming out to Australia as a convict. His crime was stealing loaves of bread from a bakery in Yorkshire, Barkisland. You may not know, someone if you're from the UK may know of some of them. So I followed two members of the royal house now. Yeah, looks like it. So he stole some bread and got sent to Australia. So my father's right into family history and has gone way back to, I think I'm a sixth generation, and my son is now seventh generation in our name going back. So it's interesting stuff. But anyway, let me just checking. Michael says, really enjoyed your M40 build. Yeah, it's a great model. I highly recommend getting it. Most Tamiya models are quite good, aren't they? But that was really good. And my figures came out better too. My little soldiers crew for that come out better. It's the first time I attempted them. They all look like Smurfs and all like twin brothers. It was terrible. But these guys, I did it a little bit differently. I used a bit of wash on their faces and oil, and got a bit of expression coming through, and I got a bit of colour in their skin, and they actually looked okay. So I'm not too close, but from an arm's length, they sort of look like little men rather than Smurfs. Yeah. Let me just check what we got. Stealing food is a crime. Yes, that's right. The house that he lived in is still there. We went and found some ancient maps. I went through Yorkshire. I went there. I had to go there and have a look. Couldn't find the street or house from back there. We're talking 200 years. But of course, Australia only has a 200-year history, so we don't have much. But when you go over there and you go to places like the cathedral there in Yorkshire, fantastic. I loved it there. I was fortunate enough I was on a big world trip and I was in India for 5 months, and I met a British couple who were returning there for their anniversary of their wedding, and I got to know them really well. And they pretty much, I said, well, I'm thinking of going to England next. And they said, well, here you go. They gave me the keys to their house and said, go stay at our place and we'll come back. We'll be there in 2 weeks. You can take care of it for us. Really? So, yeah. So I flew over there from India, flew to London. Stupid me, from 40 degrees temperature in India with nothing but my sandals, shorts, T-shirt, and I ended up at Heathrow Airport looking out the window and it's snowing. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, found my way to Earl's Court, stayed in a backpackers for 2 nights, bought some clothes, and then went to Blackheath to their house, let myself in, and I had a place to hang out for a couple of weeks. I went through Blackheath, Greenwich, down to the docks there, went on the Cutty Stark ship that's still moored there, I think, and hopped on the train into Charing Cross every day and walked all over London every day. And then when they came back about a few days after I left and went up to Wales, rented a car, drove from Cardiff all the way up the coast into Scotland, went up to Loch Ness looking for the monster, didn't see it, came back, Edinburgh, all through back and down through Yorkshire, yeah. So a couple of months in the UK and then off to America, and that was another adventure. But anyway, that's getting off subject. If you dig deep in my Facebook, you might see stuff like that. Yeah. How are we going? It's an hour. It's all good. Keep going. What's happening in chat? Let me see. What are we looking at? Interest on steel. It's back when. Oh, yours, Paul. Your ancestors knocked off some spoons. Jeez, silver, eh? That's probably worse crime. Yeah, it's quite interesting seeing the actual log from the ship of the conviction from the court as well, all written there. Yeah. 19 crimes, sent one to Australia. It's now a wine brand. Oh, okay. Very cool. All right. Let me see how we're going. We've got 14, 21 thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. That's good. I was thinking of dropping this back to like a fortnightly thing rather than weekly, but everybody likes coming in, and I get a new face now and then. I think this is a good time as well. I think it's suitable for both the US and the UK and anywhere else, although I have noticed I have a lot of Japanese subscribers lately. In fact, of my YouTube statistics, my 4th highest subscriber and viewers are Japanese. I guess we know what that's got to do with, which you will notice I added Japanese writing on the end of the turrets, in the description of the turrets, saying Yamato battleship. That way, if you typed in those characters straight up into YouTube search, it would bring up my video. I just thought it's a Japanese market, and there's a lot of Japanese that are watching that. The big unboxing I did of the Yamato, a very, very large amount of people that were watching and viewing that were Japanese. Um, so I'm doing that also with this Yamato build. I'm hoping that that'll be quite popular and a lot of people will follow along. And I know a lot of guys out there have got this model, so it's time to pull it off the shelf up top there and make a start. Join us in the build. I was thinking we should all do a group build. We got Nigel's got his model. We've got Jason over there at ModKit Stuff's got his one. All we needed now was Ron to order his, which I think is not far off happening. And then we could all all four of us do our group build. Mind you, it would probably take a while. It wouldn't be a rush. We wouldn't be able to put a time limit on it just for Ron's sake. Although Nigel, how long's your Titanic build gonna last? Eh? So yeah, you can't have too much on the run. I mean, this build's going to take up a lot of space, as you know, and then I've got an ASLAF group build to do. So, and then we've got the Spitfire, my first aircraft, the Spitfire build is another group build. I've got that up in the cupboard. Yeah. So anyway, we'll get through. It's hard now that I'm working. It was fine. COVID times were great. I didn't have to work. I had a year and a half off work. It was just model. Fantastic. As you know, I was whipping through these models. That Kitty Hawk over, it's up here now. I built that thing in 3 months. People take a year or more. But when you're spending 10 hours a day for 7 days a week, and I was doing that because I was enjoying it, that's how long it takes. But yeah, that would have been a great group build for all of us. I think, it's not going to happen. It's like me and Jason with our Queen Mary up there, I had mine done so much earlier, and of course all the lighting and everything. But I'm not a person that I can have like 2, 3, 4, or 5 models going at the same time. Jason, he does that. I can't. I need to focus one on a time. I can't. I've had 2 going at once at one point, but that was enough. I don't have the space to be able to bring everything out. It's just crazy. So it's all good. I mean, my next big major build after Yamato is probably still going to be another ship. And unless Trumpeter bring out something else in the next year, which I haven't heard of anything, it may be a Titanic build. Because I really enjoyed doing that Queen Mary as a passenger ocean liner. It was something totally different. And again, come up really well. I learnt a lot building that ship, particularly with the lighting. So I have 6 going right now. John, see, 6 models going right now. How do you do that? I mean, just my spray booth area with my paints for one model. I mean, you can buy these plastic containers. I've got one under the bench there. You can probably see it there. I know Jason, ModKit Stuff, he puts all these in boxes like them and stacks them aside and then comes back to them. Now that he's got his work area, he was doing it on the kitchen table at one point, but he's got a more permanent spot now. I could use these containers, which I keep pointing the wrong way, the stupid camera, there. I don't know. And then, of course, you've got to clear everything on your bench and make room and change things and rotate stuff out. At the moment, I have everything where I know exactly where everything is. So even though I might reach for, I'm trying to point, paintbrushes or other stuff, everything's where I need it. And if you could look around the corner there, I've got a big cupboard near doorway into my apartment, and it is just stacked full of stuff that needs to be thrown out. Hey, it was only a few months ago I actually worked up the willpower and threw out all the boxes, because all these model boxes that they came in, I was keeping the boxes. So I ended up cutting all the lids off, keeping just the flat lids, and threw all the boxes out, and I just made up so much room. Yeah, so every 3 months I usually go through that cupboard there and clean everything out and throw stuff out. But I'm one of those, like most modelers, I guess, where you think, oh, maybe I could use this for something, or this wire I could use that for something, or or just little things like that. But in reality, they just sit there. Like, I've got all the dirt and gravel I used for this diorama in the plastic bags that I picked up on the side of the road out in the countryside, still sitting in the plastic bags in the cupboard. I'm not going to use that stuff. I'm not doing another diorama for a while, so, and I can always go pick up more stuff off the roadside in the bush. I throw the stuff out. I've got to throw the stuff out. What do we got here? I'm looking to catch up on chat here. Have you considered? I'll put you up on there. Hello. Welcome. Hello. Hello. That better? Yeah. Have you considered doing the Ravel Ada cruise ship? Yeah, I've seen that. Really nice, interesting color scheme. I haven't considered it actually, but yeah, maybe I'll look into it. I don't know. I'm running out of room, but I'm not going to go into that. That would be interesting. I build as you buy. Yeah, like 6 months ago, I didn't have a stash. Right now, I've probably got about 6 kits up there. That's all. I know people with hundreds. That's just crazy. I know that they're never gonna get through them all. Good old Ron. Ron started his stash. He's got his first little metal Yamato kit, although he's giving it away. So now it's officially not going to be in his stash. He's going to give it away. But anyway, so he almost had a start to his stash. Although he usually has the next ship sitting down there ready to go. Go through chat here. She's a bit more work from me today. Work. I know it sucks, eh? I don't work Fridays now. Every weekend's a long weekend. I'm enjoying the very semi-retired life. Not really, because I'm doing like 11-hour days when I do work. That's what you're building at the moment. Cars. Yeah, 4 cars, eh? Yeah, I can never seriously build cars here. I've never. Oh, right. I built that combi van. That was a one-off. That was fine. But to get that paint job you need on cars, I couldn't do it here. It's just the dust is too much. You literally can't spray anything and not to expect to get a speck of dust on it at some point, which would be the end of your car model. I just can't do it here, unfortunately. But it's not unfortunately. There's plenty of other things. Tanks and stuff like that. No one's going to see a speck of dust under the weathering of a tank. You don't weather cars unless you're doing a diorama with a rusty, wreck or something. But yeah, John Alex, Scalemodeling, get over there and have a look at his channel. In fact, after the show, I'll leave a link in the description below to go over there and anybody and check out your channels. You got every day. There's something new from you, mate. You're powering on. That's great. Just good stuff. I'm watching people. I do a lot. I'm interested in Thailand, as you know. I watch a lot of people that go do videos of traveling around Thailand and stuff. And they put out videos every day. And I thought, oh man, they're going to burn out. surely, and then gradually you see that every second day, now every third day, now once a week, so you can get burnt out. It's a lot of work making these videos. You've got to enjoy the editing and video side like another hobby other than modeling to be doing this on YouTube. People like Ron, modeling is number 2, the videoing is number 1. You can see that in the videos and the quality. But to me, video editing is like Nigel and weathering. Nah, you got to do it, but I hate doing it. I just don't, because it's taken time away from me modeling. And weathering is part of the modeling. I can understand that. That's fine, and that's okay. But not every model needs to be weathered. And it's a very small process compared to the actual build process of getting it built in the first place. Speaking of paintbrushes, Randy asked. He's asked this a while back. Sorry, I'm back in chat. What does everyone use? You probably answered that, but for me, I just use the icky sticky ones. They do the job for me. I wouldn't buy expensive paintbrushes myself because I'd just wreck them because I don't look after them properly. I'm sure I don't. Yeah, that's me, Rob. Yeah, you're right. The cheapest that's mine too. Yeah. In fact, there's an idea for you, Nigel. Put out a video on paintbrushes. I mean, I don't know how much paintbrushing you do, but there's a lot of variety of paintbrushes out there for a lot of different uses. And there's different ways of using paintbrushes that I'm discovering. Like, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but on the top of this little boat, I'll show it again because there might be some new people here. All right. So on the top of there is that little life buoy. There it is on there. I have to paint that red and white without getting paint not only where I don't want it to go, which is okay, I can mask around that, which is another question I might ask anybody in chat who might know. Something that I can cut circles of different sizes in masking tape. Anyone know of a tool that can do that? Like a compass draws a circle, is there a way of either stamping out or creating different size circles in masking tape? Like you would on the wheels of a truck, vehicles and stuff, but for small stuff. Yeah, what paintbrush? There's different shapes, different sizes, whatever, to make your job as easy as possible to paint little things like that. So maybe, yeah, unless you've already done that, maybe there's a video already out there you've made in the past. What else we got? I'm going to catch up on chat. We'll go down quickly. I crushed and recycled the big Lancaster box today. Oh, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I keep the lids though. Just cut the lids out flat. I don't know why. Again, but at least it's something that takes up less space. German paid $30 for a set of 5. See, that's not too expensive for 5 brushes. That's okay. Different. My brushes don't take long to turn into weathering brushes. Yeah. Jason had a good tip. One of his tips videos was using a peg to hold the brush above a cup as it's sitting in the water, so the brush isn't actually touching the bottom of the cup and bending. It'll just hold it so there's no pressure and it's going to stay straight. I also saw another video of a guy, I think, demonstrated a green stuff, bring out a paintbrush cleaner. It's this weird looking little plastic contraption that has like a little like a drain pipe from a water bottle sitting on the upside down, and the drain goes down into a round area, and there's a little button you press and the water drains out of that, and you get the brush and you clean it in the water, and then you press the button and the water drains out, and then this trough brings fresh water back into it, and you've got fresh water, clean water there again. It was a good idea. Green Stuff, check it out on their website. You got more, most brushes, cheapest ones, Tamiya brushes, yeah. German Sable, where do you get those? Yeah. eBay for everything, or Amazon. Burying a family member. yeah. Or cremating, depending how you get rid of it. That's terrible, isn't it? I buy a brush, Rosemary & Co in UK, excellent quality, good prices. Yeah, taking care of brushes is important too to make them last, which I don't know anything about. I need to find out. John gets them on Amazon, different sizes there. That's great. 5 packs. I use an Infinity cutting mat for circles. Right. Thanks, Jeff. I will write that down. Infinity, N-F-I-N-I. We got B&A Hobbies down here in Australia that stock a lot of Infinity products, cutting mat, and I will check that out. Yeah. We got, moving down, circle template and a sharp knife. Yeah. When you're a kid, you're at school, you just get those little triangle things, like with your compass sets. And in one of them were these little circle things that you could draw circles of different radiuses. But you could easily just use your knife to cut out those circles. I don't know if they still sell those. I'm sure they would. I don't know, unless everything's computers now and they don't use them anymore. Soon you won't be able to buy pens because everybody's on a typing thing. In fact, just the other day, I don't know, my son's now living with me, although he's not here today. I noticed his handwriting, and I haven't got the note here, but my God, kids don't learn to write, do they? Back in the day when I was a butcher, I had to learn how to do like calligraphy for the writing of all the tickets that would go on the display in the meat case, and we had all this fancy writing. I had to learn how to do all that. Now my writing's shit, but at least I learned. I've forgotten now. 15. Okay, yeah, there you go. Check out their paint. It was strange, yeah. $8 a brush. Yeah. Okay. Green Stuff Chrome. I had never really looked on their site. I don't even know what products they really sell. It was somebody doing a review of this plastic paint cleaning product. Models and Beer, how are you, mate? Welcome. Welcome for joining. We're going over time, but that's okay. What's this one? Officeworks, Pete? Yeah, okay. Officeworks. All right. We'll talk later, won't we? Where's Sam this morning? Where is Sam this morning? Hey? Oh, maybe she's messaged me. No, Jeff sent me a photo. I'm just checking, mate. Soldering iron stuff. Okay. Excellent. I don't know where Sam is this morning. Anyway, go down. Everyone's saying hello. There we go. High-Q parts do circle mask sets from 1 to 8 millimeters. Awesome. Use them all the time. I'll write that down too. High-Q parts. Never heard of them, but yeah, that would be good. There's many times I've come across where I need to do that. I do have a Tamiya. When I was in Bangkok, I went to the Tamiya store there. I bought one of their mask sheets that has a grids, but they're all square grid, so you can cut out very small masking of precise sizes of their tape. It was masking paper, but it's all in a grid, but not circles. That's where I need it. Hello, John Marley from Newcastle. How are you, buddy? And I like your You're Bert, upside down Bert. That's excellent. Welcome, mate. Welcome. Morning. Yes. Oh, we got another person here. Fernando. How are you? Welcome, mate. Welcome. Nigel saying hello. Good morning from Randy. Everybody saying hello. Everybody saying hello still. I can't be going on for too much longer, but we'll stick a bit more. We'll stick it out a little bit more, an hour and a half. Nobody's going to watch an hour and a half replay. That's the problem with live streams. It's great when it's live and we're all in here and this, but replays, you can't really engage in the replay. I know a few subscribers do watch the replays because they can't make it live, but comments are welcome, you know. Even you guys who are watching live, throw a comment down the bottom. It helps the YouTube algorithm spit this out to more people. Who else we got? Lurking, yes. Everybody's lurking. Everyone's saying hello there. Nigel, good. All right, I've caught up, I think. We've got 16 still watching in chat. 22 thumbs up. Fantastic. All right. What else? My Coke, I haven't run out yet. That's good. Someone asked what this was the other day. So when I go overseas, I always pick up a little memento, whether it's, well, there's some pretty strange things, but I pick up little things. There was a little musical instrument in Tibet that you play in your mouth. It's like a metal thing, and you twang it with your finger, and it makes these sounds. Things like that. Anyway, this is the bone of a, now I'm told it's the bone from, oh geez, I forget now. I bought it in Tanzania, in Africa. I really forget what the bone is. I think it was maybe hyena, something like that. I think it was a hyena, because over there they're crazy. Like in Mombasa, they have some of the lower, the slum areas and places like the rough parts. They keep hyenas as pets. I got to tell you, and they walk around with them on these massive chains. Anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so I'll keep that and I'll wear that until I do another adventure, and I'll replace it with maybe a ring I'll buy from somewhere, or, you know, something like that. I mean, here's, you know, I bought these watches. I bought a watch here. Look at that, from Thailand. But I don't wear watches. I gave one away. I gave one to my son, actually. I've got two left. This one has the alarm go off at 4 o'clock every afternoon, and I don't know how to stop it. Anyway, and it beeps every hour. I don't wear watches, so I won't be wearing that. Yeah, that's going off subject. Yeah, I'm going to stick to this time of the stream each Friday. I think it's a good time for everybody. That's best. So it's alcohol based. That's that green stuff, chrome paint. All good. There we go for his Mustang build. Get hold of some of that. Good. Saying hello. Don't know what that is. Take the battery out. Yeah, take the battery out. That would be a logical thing. Yeah. Yeah. Or I'll just move it somewhere where I can't hear it. I'll put it in another room. There we go. Yeah. Or I'll send it to somebody. Want to watch? I'll mail it to you. All right. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. But I've got to say, if anybody out there wants one of my cards, So I've got one airmail envelope left to send out one of my Scalemodeling little business cards. I'll send out a few. So let me know if you want one. I've got one airmail left, and I got a few Australian postage paid envelopes. So 1, 2, 3 if you're in Australia and you want, a few of these, there you go. All good for Christmas. Very good. All right, guys. So, look, Mark Loop's just joined us. Yes, I know you do, Nigel. Good, thank you. And I have yours as well. Sorry, pretty late, much as always. Stream on at this time every week. Okay, welcome, Mark. I've caught up in chat. All right, so yeah, you can jump onto Facebook, add me as a friend. I don't mind. I'll check later, and if I check now, there'll probably be a few friend requests. I'm sure. We'll see. I'm just quickly opening Facebook up and memories. Oh, look, there's Facebook brings up memories of last year. Oh, this time last year, I went on a Santa ride on my motorbike for one of the charities. And I got pictures of my bike all done up in Christmas tinsel, and I wore a Santa suit. And yeah, no, you're not going to see photos of that. What else? I'm just looking here. It looks like December 9, 2020, I was building the Arizona, working on the lifeboat hoists. Thank you for reminding me of that. Oh gosh, goes way back, doesn't it? Yeah, we don't go through my history there. So here comes Alex, send me a friend request. There you go, confirmed. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night, a morning, an afternoon, depending where you are for the stream. It's fine. It's not. Yeah, you're right about the mail prices. I know, but they're prepaid. I've already paid for them, so don't worry about that. So everybody, get a chance to say goodbye to everybody in chat before I end the stream. And yeah, thanks, Nigel. Thanks for joining in, and I'll jump back on and watch your video you just put up. And everybody else, get on the Nigel's channel. You already are, I'm sure. We're saying goodbye to Nige. Morning to Mark. Yeah, so say goodbye to everybody. That's all right, no problem. I have Instagram too. I think there's an Instagram link in the information on my YouTube channel. There should be. All good. I've got to go down the post office and pick up my new Australian ASLAV model, hopefully, and some products from Icky Sticky this morning. That's it. All good. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And it's all good. See you guys later. Yes. I'll be calling into a model shop late this morning, as one of you may know. All right, guys. Goodbye. Catch you all next Friday. Stay tuned for the weekend when I'll announce my Yamato. You'll see a picture going out coming soon. The final of my turrets build will come out on Saturday, tomorrow, my time. That Yamato first video will probably be Tuesday, Wednesday next week. We'll see. All right. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Be good or good at it, as Bilge says. Excellent. All right. Bye-bye.